All right, folks, for fans of Lessons in Leadership, and we know you all are, you've been waiting for this segment. We've been teasing it for 6 months now. We haven't gotten to it. Mary, these little mini seminars, are they Lessons in Leadership mini seminars?
They sure are. They're Lessons in Leadership mini seminars. For some of you, you may do Toastmasters. For Steve and I, we do communication leadership seminars for a variety of organizations and nonprofits throughout the region. And what we love to give to our viewers are just some tips and tools on key areas of leadership. We've talked about relationship building, but as Steve said, we have teased about meetings forever. And this could be a meeting at work. It could even be a meeting at home, right? Like you have like a family meeting. It could be you're on the PTO at your school. So we're going to give you some tips and tools in this mini seminar that hopefully will help you to lead better meetings and participate in more effective and efficient meetings.
What's this seminar called?
Oh no, not another meeting.
What a great title.
I know. I don't know. It has a good ring to it. It just kind of rolls off the tongue. And what Steve is teasing to is that is the name of a chapter actually in your first book, Lessons in Leadership. But we have also continued the discussion in Lessons in Leadership 2.0, The Tough Stuff, which will be Steve's newest book that'll be out this summer.
But I'm uncomfortable plugging, really.
Always. Oh, can I add one other thing though? If you're watching and you want all great articles and columns Steve has written on this topic, go to stand-deliver.com. Tons of free resources up there. So definitely check that out as well.
So Mary, I'm going to do something. I know you don't like my little placards that I got at a little novelty store.
They're so 1980s, maybe even 1970s. The brown, you just need to put them against a paneled wall with maybe like strawberry shortcake or something.
You know what? We've been together a lot of years, 23. I've never seen you come up with one prop and you criticize my props.
There's a reason why I criticize yours and do not have my own.
Hold on one second. You got that, Scarlett?
You could see it.
I survived another meeting that should have been an email. That's one prop. And I'm going to cover this one up, Mary. Hold on one second. I'm going to cover up the last word. Mary's like, I'm not going to say what that last word is.
Yes,
Okay,
we
so-
could all use our imaginations.
All right, Mary, first off, the whole point of these Lessons in Leadership mini seminars is to actually give people information they can use. We talk to all sorts of people, all leaders of all stripes, about their leadership approach, their lessons in leadership, the mistakes they've made as a leader, how they develop other leaders. But these mini seminars are self-contained. Mary will make sure that they stand on the website on their own if you want to grab them. Oh, no, not another meeting. So, Mary, I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there are 8 keys. And if Sylvester can fit these on the graphic,
Yep.
8 keys. Mary, first key, I'll set it up. I'll be the point guard with my mini basketball, more
I'm gonna
props.
catch it.
We are not playing.
I can't believe I just did that.
We're not playing baseball. We are playing basketball. I'm the point guard. Ready? Every meeting has to have one meeting facilitator leader. A client said to me recently in a coaching session, Steve, I said, who ran the meeting, Bob? And he goes, about 3 or 4 of us. I said, hold on one second. Who was the point guard? Who facilitated the meeting? We all did. My response, if a lot of people are running the meeting, no one is running the meeting. You say, Mary?
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen, that's for sure. Yes, you want to have other people participate in the meeting. That's essential. No one wants to hear a meeting leader standing in front, talking, diarrhea of the mouth, just going on and on and on and on and on. But there has to be that one meeting leader that is able to throw the ball, give somebody that opportunity, but most importantly, then cut that person off politely if they have to, and literally then take the ball back and then keep that meeting moving, because we've all been in those meetings where somebody is just sucking up all the oxygen and then you just totally zone out.
Got it. Second key, and by the way, we're putting a lot of pressure on Sylvester on the editing end.
Oh, he's got this.
Because he's the best. By the way, thank you to Elvin, Frank, Sylvester behind the scenes.
Amy in closed
Scarlett,
captioning, she's awesome.
Amy, April on the makeup. April, I know you're here. Don't worry. I was going to mention you didn't have to. April went like this. What about me? No, she didn't do that. And Scarlett behind the camera. It does take a great team. So Mary, how about this one? Second one. No one likes this, including Mary. I say as a meeting leader, you must force engagement. How? Specific questions of specific people, not to quote, call them out or embarrass them, but to invite them into the meeting. Why don't more people do that, Mary?
Well, I think it's two reasons. Number one, it's because of their insecurity, their lack of awareness of knowing that it's their job as the meeting facilitator to ask a question, to invite someone in. So I think that's part of it. But then the other part is, say they are aware that they know they're supposed to do it, they feel like they might make that other person uncomfortable, right? How many times do we say, you called me out or you put me on the spot? Instead, if you pitch that question in such a way that you let that person know that you're inviting them in, it's going to be a safe space for sure.
Got it. And by the way, Mary, I mentioned this in another program that the New York Times back on April 9th, the business section wrote how to stamp out meetings that go on and on and on and on. That's the article. Check it out. It'll be on our website as well. All right, Mary, you ready? This is the third tip. Limit the time of the meeting. My argument, 30 minutes or less. Beyond that, phones, attention span, text messages, calling people, emailing people, they're distracted. Limit the time, Mary, you say.
Yeah, absolutely. And often even 15 minutes will do the trick, right? Most of our meetings, it's for a quick touch base, it's for a quick update. Do not have a meeting if it's something where you could have just sent an email. If it's that short of an update, don't even have that meeting. So yes, you want to limit the time, and also it holds us accountable, right? If you go into a meeting with no ending, no, if you leave it totally open-ended, you may just get off track. And then, as you said, you're going to lose people, and time is valuable for these people on your team.
Mary, if we limit, Mary knows this because we've been living together with this stuff for over 2 decades. If you limit the time of the meeting, what would be the fourth lessons in leadership tip? I put you on the spot. If you limit the time, you limit the...
If I don't know this answer, I feel like I need a little buzzer. You limit the number of people that are in that meeting. So we were at fault at the beginning of the pandemic. And one of our previous guests, Tom Iadanza, had said this, president of Valley National Bank. Yeah, he had actually said it. He said in the beginning of the pandemic, because Zoom was so quote unquote easy for everyone to just, oh, let's just have everybody in on the meeting. If you get upwards of 20, 30, 50, 100 people on a meeting, number one, and number two, if those cameras are off, they're not really in the meeting. They're not engaged in the meeting. So unless there's something for those people to learn from the meeting, and or even better yet, participate in the meeting, however big or small, they probably don't need to be in that meeting. So take a pause before you send that invite, and don't just invite everybody on your team. Really be strategic about who you have in that meeting.
All right, so far you have to have one meeting leader who's trained to facilitate and engage others. 2, you need to force engagement by asking specific questions of specific people. 3, you need to limit the amount of time of the meeting, limit the number of participants. How about this one? Number 5, cameras on. Now, you may say 3 years plus into the pandemic, what are you talking about? We're all in person. No, we're not. Some of the people are in the office. Some of the people are remote. Now cameras on. So if I said we needed Elvin, our director, to be on camera, right? He was saying he's not going on camera today because he had certain issues. He didn't want to be seen. He didn't have his makeup artist in or something this morning. But the point I'm making is that if Elvin had to be in a meeting, we would need Elvin to be in the meeting in person. Mm-hmm. Frank Brown, did I mention Frank before? I better have. Frank, our great audio engineer. Mm-hmm. Why do Frank, Elvin, and others who need to be in the meeting, why do they need to be on camera versus, hey, I'm on my phone?
Yep. You gave the greatest story, and I use it all the time in the coaching that I do as well, and in our seminars. You would never be physically in the office where the entire team is in one side of the office and you're on the other side of that door closed, screaming from the outside of the office, right? You would never do that. So really, it's the equivalent of literally being on the other side of that door while your teammate is on the flip side. So you have to be in there.
Mary, I'm sorry, Elvin, not on camera, just participated in the chat. Technology is awesome. I love it. You get engagement even when they're not on camera. Elvin said, because people don't pay attention when their cameras are. Mary, Elvin's
exactly
1,000% right. It's an invitation to check out.
Yeah, and you're also, I don't pay attention half the time if I'm in a meeting that I shouldn't be in, which is never our meetings, of course, but we've been in meetings with clients, and I'm sending Steve emails, and then he'll text me. He's like, why are you sending me emails? I'm like, because this meeting is horrible. That's why I'm sending you emails. We all multitask, right? In today's day and age, we're able to do maybe 3 or 4 different things. If you're doing 3 or 4 different things, you're not doing any of them well. You're getting them done, you're checking off the box, but in order to truly be present and be an active participant in that meeting, cameras on.
I think this is numbers. I think it's 6. I lost
Yeah,
count.
we don't have to number them.
Okay. How about this one? Mary came up with this one, so I'm going to hand the ball to her on this. So many meetings. And again, our work at Lessons and I Stand and Deliver, our Lessons in Leadership seminar series. Half of my clients, if not more, tell me, I've got a PowerPoint. I know, but you're in a meeting you got 10 different PowerPoint. I know, but I have to have PowerPoint. I said, yeah, but if you have PowerPoint and April has PowerPoint and Scarlett has PowerPoint and Elvin and Frank has PowerPoint, now I'm the 5th PowerPoint and we expect people to pay attention. What is the tip that we're asking Sylvester to put in there about PowerPoint? Because we're not banning it. We don't say it shouldn't be used. Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah. If you need a visual, and I say a visual, not a whole bunch of words, if you have a PowerPoint up with a whole bunch of words, and even worse, we've all been there when someone is reading the PowerPoint verbatim and you're reading it along with them, or most of us have read because you could read faster than you speak. People have already read it. So what you want to make sure is if a visual is going to help to bring to life, if you're talking about a food pantry or a food desert, pictures are great. Charts are fantastic.
How about a video of something that brings
video is amazing, but words on screen, jumbling a whole bunch of little words on screen. So if you are going to use technology, make sure that it enhances what you're saying and the message that you want to get across. It should not take away from that message.
Elvin, since you're talking to us remotely, tell us how much time, because it's been saying 4 minutes for 3 minutes. It's been saying 4 minutes left. Well, you're laughing, Scarlett.
The last one is so important. Please let me say this one. Do not end the
You're
meeting.
asking me. I work for you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do not end a meeting without agreeing on exactly what is going to be done. In other words, who is going to do what by when. Too many meetings end and it's just like, great, have a good day, everybody. Nobody knows who's following up on this project, who's going to do this by when, who's going to report by when. And we hear that all the time. It is such a basic concept. Who is going to do what by when? And that is the meeting facilitator. Again, we talked about that at the beginning of this. That quarterback needs to either A, assign, B, ask for volunteers, and then make sure that it is agreed upon of who's doing what by when.
So I believe that is, because I'm into branding, follow up and follow through with deadlines. How about this one for the last one? I got 60 seconds left. Mary does this after every meeting. She doesn't need coaching. She doesn't need direction. Send an email with the key items discussed and the actions to be taken. That's not simply ending the meeting by verbally saying who's going to do what by when. But Mary, real quick, 30 seconds left. Why are you obsessed about that email that comes out after every meeting?
Well, I wish I could say it was for other reasons, but it's because we all forget, right? You're in that meeting, you've moved on to the next meeting, you're going to forget. So then you have a paper trail to say, wait a second, what did we agree to? Boom, go back to that email, go back to that item, because if not, you don't have a paper trail. So it's just a great way to go back and double check yourself.
You know what, Mary? First of all, Mary had somewhere in her checklist, let's do this, why our meetings stink. I think it's called, oh, no, not another meeting.
No, not another meeting.
She had it in the notes for a long time to do. You know, remember the guy on PBS for years that would paint the clouds, was it Bob Ross?
Oh, Bob Ross, yes. Happy little trees, happy little clouds, yeah.
Enough of that, Mary. We are the Bob Ross of leadership. We paint.
Boom. Drop that mic drop.
We paint vivid cloud pictures of leadership. See you next time. Ow, I just hurt myself. See you next time. This edition of Lessons in Leadership is made possible by the Buccino Leadership Institute at Seton Hall University, Prager Metis, Valley Bank, the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 825, the North Ward Center, the New Jersey Sharing Network, Delta Dental of New Jersey, Fedway Associates, Inc., Veolia, resourcing the world, Choose New Jersey, and Seton Hall University, showing the world what great minds can do since 1856.
This is Mary Gamba. If you want more leadership tips and tools, log on to stand-deliver.com. That's stand-deliver.com.
Promotional support for this edition of Lessons in Leadership with me, Steve Adubato, and my colleague, Mary Gamba, has been provided by NJ.com, NJBIA, and New Jersey Business Magazine. CIANJ, and Commerce Magazine, and Meadowlands Chamber celebrating 50 years of building connections and driving business growth.